typical rib, starting with the bony features of a typical rib. So a typical rib has two ends, an anterior end and a posterior end. Posterior end and an anterior end. And in between these two ends lies the shaft. Shaft is flattened. Starting first of all with the anterior ends. The anterior end is oval and it is meant to provide attachment to the costal cartilage with which a typical rib finally gets attached to the sternum, its lateral border, anteriorly. This was all about the anterior end. Now we come to the posterior end, which bears a lot more bony features as compared to the anterior end. If you look at the anterior end, posterior end, sorry, the posterior end has a head, a neck, and a tubercle. Starting with the head bears two facets, an upper facet and a lower facet. And these two facets are separated from each other with the help of a ridge or a crest. The upper facet articulates with the thoracic vertebra above, whereas the lower facet is meant to articulate with the vertebra, thoracic vertebra, that numerically corresponds to the same rib. For example, अगर ये बेटा ये जो मैंने rib पकड़ी हुई है, suppose मैं कहती हूँ जी ये fifth rib है, तो अगर फिफ्थ रिब है तो इसका ये मतलब है कि जो इसके हेड पे, पोस्टीरियर एंड के हेड पे जो लोअर फेसेट है, दैट इज गोइंग टू आर्टिकुलेट विद द फिफ्थ वर्टेब्रा, thoracic vertebra, जबकि जो इसका अपर फेसेट है, दैट इज गोइंग टू आर्टिकुलेट विद द फोर्थ vertebra, thoracic vertebra. Do you understand this? So the lower facet on the head of the posterior end of the rib articulates with the numerically corresponding thoracic vertebra, and the upper end articulates with the vertebra above. Similarly, the neck. The neck is the portion that is connecting the head with the rest of the shaft. The neck has two borders and two surfaces, upper border or superior border, inferior border or lower border, outer surface and inner surface, right? And then the superior border is also labeled as crest of the neck. This neck of the typical rib also lies at the level of numerically corresponding thoracic vertebra. It also lies at the level of numerically corresponding thoracic vertebra. उसके लेवल पे ही पड़ी होती है अपने सेम मसलन ये फिफ्थ रिब है तो इसका नेक फिफ्थ thoracic vertebra के लेवल पे ही पड़ा होगा. Now we move on further next to neck. Next to neck lies the tubercle of the rib. ठीक हो गया? This tubercle has a non-articular and a articular part. Obviously, you can see that the facet bearing part of the tubercle will be labeled as articular part. And lateral to this facet is the non-articular part, which is roughened. So first rib is atypical because its head bears a facet for the first thoracic vertebra. It doesn't articulate with the cervical vertebra. जी बेटे. So the costal tubercle has two parts: a medial articular part in the form of having a facet for the articulation with the transverse process of the numerically corresponding thoracic vertebra. जैसे for example फिफ्थ thoracic vertebra के साथ ये फिफ्थ rib articulate कर रही है, तो ये जो tubercle है facet है costal tubercle का फिफ्थ rib पे, तो वो किस वर्टेब्रा के ट्रांसवर्स प्रोसेस के साथ आर्टिकुलेट करेगा? फिफ्थ के। और इसके जो लैटरल पार्ट होता है ट्यूबरकल का, दैट इज द नॉन आर्टिकुलर पार्ट। सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट द पोस्टीरियर एंड। नेक्स्ट कम्स द एंगल ऑफ द रिब। एंगल, अब एक टिपिकल रिब का जो बेंड होता है ना, जहां से अगर आप देखो ना, साइड व्यू देखो, ये बेंड हो रही है, इसकी लाइन ऑफ बेंडिंग कैसे है? ये क्यों बेंड हो रही है? बिकॉज इट इज शिफ्टिंग इन इट्स डायरेक्शन। तो ये आपको एक एंगल नजर आ रहा होगा। ये जो एंगल है जिस पे आपकी रिब ने अपना डायरेक्शन चेंज किया है फ्रॉम पोस्टीरियर टू एंटीरियर, ठीक है, दिस इज कॉल्ड द एंगल ऑफ द रिब। Got it? It is said to be located next to the tubercle of the typical rib. तो इस एंगल पे the rib changes its direction from posterior to anterior. This one. ठीक है? Often, very often, you see an other oblique line, an oblique ridge, an oblique line anteriorly near the anterior end. So that line, presence of that line marks two angles, an anterior angle and posterior angle. So this angle becomes the posterior angle, and the one that you find anteriorly is called anterior angle. It may be marked or it may less be marked. This angle is always definite. Shaft, beta jo shaft hai, if you see, it is flattened. So it has two surfaces and two borders. It shows the convexity outwards. So this is the outer surface. And this inner surface, which is concave, is the inner surface of the shaft. So outer surface, inner surface, upper border, which is rounded. Upper border, which is rounded. It shows two lips, an inner lip and an outer lip. An inner lip and an outer lip. And then we have an intermediate area, just like if you remember the iliac crest of the hip bone. It's ventral 2/3. So lower border is sharper and thinner as compared to the upper border. Why? Because of the presence of costal groove along it. On the inner surface, there is a ridge located just above the costal groove. This ridge, if you follow it posteriorly, it is becoming continuous at the lower border of the neck. Lower border of the neck. This is the lower border, right? So you can see that the costal groove now lies where? It lies between the ridge above and inferior border below. So this is the costal groove lying between the ridge above and inferior border below. So this is a atypical rib. It is since broadest and shortest of all the ribs, and it lies horizontally in the body. This is first rib. It is shortest, broadest, lies horizontally in the body. Secondly, it has two ends, just like any other typical rib. An anterior end that bears a shallow groove for the articulation with the costal cartilage, and a posterior end. Then we have, since it lies horizontally, its shaft has two surfaces and two borders. The shaft has two surfaces and two borders. The surfaces include upper surface, lower surface, or superior inferior surfaces, outer border, and inner border. Again, you can see the outer border is convex. So the convexity of the outer border must lie outside, and the concavity of the border must lie inside, making it inner border. So this is how you are going to hold the bone in its anatomical position. Now, how to determine its side? For side, you must know the differentiating features between its two surfaces, superior and inferior. The superior surface, as you can see, I have outlined for you two grooves. It bears two grooves. These two grooves are separated in between by a ridge. This ridge ends along the inner border at the tubercle, and this tubercle is called scalene tubercle. This tubercle lies along the inner border, and this ridge ends at the scalene tubercle, and this ridge separates the two grooves on the superior surface of the first rib. So this is how you hold the bone in its correct anatomical position and on the correct side. This is going to be incorrect. This is my right side. So this is going to be incorrect. Why? Because we are holding the two ends in their correct position, anatomical position. This is still lying anteriorly. This posterior end still lies posteriorly. But now what have we swapped? We have swapped the surfaces. You can see even the borders are in their correct anatomical position. The outer border is supposed to be outside convex. It is convex outside. And the inner border is supposed to be concave inside. It is concave inside. But what have we swapped? What have we turned upside down? Superior and inferior surfaces. You can see that the inferior surface is now facing, the inferior surface is now facing upwards, superiorly. And superior surface is facing downwards, inferiorly. So this is the correct anatomical position. This bone belongs to the left side. Second, एक और बात आपको पता होनी चाहिए जो आपको बड़े आराम से पता लग जाएगी और आपको हेल्प करेगी कि इस बोन को इसके एनाटॉमिकल पोजीशन में कैसे रखना है. If you see the bone lying on a flat surface, you will come to know that both ends, anterior and posterior ends, they must touch the surface of the table or on whatever surface you are putting it down. दोनों ends bone के जो जिस surface पे आप रखेंगे इस bone को, ये दोनों ends उस surface को touch करने चाहिए. They should come in contact with that surface. ठीक है? जब आप इस bone को उल्टा रख देंगे, मतलब कि आप इसकी जो superior surface को inferior कर देंगे, जैसे कि मैं ये करने लगी हूं, तो क्या हुआ? What do you see? What do you see? What has happened? No, Humayl. The posterior end is not touching the, yes, Shiza, Shabash. Posterior end. You have to mention it. Do not just mention it by end, some end. No, the posterior end in particular is not touching the, is not coming in contact with the surface on which it is lying, but the anterior end is still in touch. If I again move it upside down, ye dekhein. ये देखें, both ends are coming in contact with the surface on which they are lying, on which the bone is lying. Right हो गया. अगर मैं इसको अपसाइड डाउन कर दूंगी, जो कि गलत होगा, सुपीरियर सरफेस को इंफीरियर कर दूंगी, तो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन? Anterior end is still in contact, whereas the posterior end is above the surface. It is not coming in contact with the surface on which it is lying. So it is a very good trick in order to determine the side of the bone. ठीक हो गया ना? अगर आपने साइड करनी है ना डिटरमिन, तो इसको किसी सरफेस पे रख देना, तो जब दोनों एंड्स दे विल बी इन कांटेक्ट विद द अंडरलाइंग सरफेस, तो इसका मतलब है कि आपने सुपीरियर सरफेस को सुपीरियर रखा हुआ है, इंफीरियर सरफेस इंफीरियर ही है, तो ये इसकी साइड सही है. जब मैं इसको अपसाइड डाउन कर दूंगी, राइट साइड की बनाने की कोशिश करूंगी, तो व्हाट हैज हैपेंड? Anterior end still in contact, but the posterior end is above the ground or above the surface. So what have I done wrong? मैंने इसकी superior surface को, इसकी inferior surface को superior रख दिया हुआ है. Now do you get it, bete? Do you understand? So what are the different features that make it atypical? Starting with the posterior end. The posterior end, you can see the head bears a single facet for the articulation with its numerically corresponding thoracic vertebra. That is the first thoracic vertebra. Then we have a neck. And then the tubercle. The tubercle is larger and is meant for the articulation with the transverse process of the, again, numerically corresponding vertebra, thoracic vertebra.